Blog Talk Radio.
Hello and welcome to Plus Model Radio. I'm your host, Shanice Lewis, and thank you so much for tuning in with us this evening. First off, everyone is loving our theme song, I'm Real by Plushes. So make sure you visit their website, plushes.com, and myspace.com/plushes, and show them some love. And congratulations goes out to Whitney Thompson, the first full-figure model to win America's Next Top Model. We are rooting for her success in the modeling industry and hoping some of the attention she brings to the industry will benefit us all. So again, congratulations on a huge accomplishment. Now, last show, we had a few technical difficulties, but we didn't let that stop us, so hopefully tonight will go smoothly. However, even with the technical difficulties, our last show had over 1,800 listeners. So thank you so much for supporting me and Plus Model Radio, and keep tuning in. Now on with the show. We have some great guests lined up for you tonight. Originally, Christy McNeil, the Curvy Confidence editor of Venus Divas magazine, was scheduled to be on the show, but her grandfather passed away and the funeral was today. So we are sorry about your loss, Christy, and you and your family will be in our prayers. So joining us tonight in her place is Valery Amador, the editorial director for both Venus Divas and Plus Model magazine. And our other guests include Kwon, owner and CEO of Missphit clothing, as well as Megan Garcia, a plus-size model and yoga expert. So up first is Valery. Valery is the co-founder and CEO of Venus Imaging Education, LCC, and served as editorial director for both Venus Divas magazine and Plus Model magazine. Since 1998, Venus Imaging Education has been building online portals and virtual magazines that help to educate, inspire, and celebrate women and teens. As a former plus-size model, Valery has worked with Just My Size, Lord & Taylor, Nordstrom, Elizabeth, JCPenney, and Meyer & Frank. As an actress, she has performed in numerous off-Broadway as well as regional theaters throughout the United States. Let's give a warm welcome to Valery.
Shanice, how are you this evening?
I'm great, and thank you for coming in last minute.
Oh, you bet. My goodness, we just never know what life is going to hand us, and we just need to, kind of flex with it. So I'm happy to be here and always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. So let's talk about Venus Divas magazine and Plus Model magazines. Now, what do you do as the editorial director for both of these?
Well, actually, just a little bit of a change, and that is Maddie took over as the editor of Plus Model magazine. So I am the creative director of that magazine. But on Venus, I am the editorial director for that magazine. And basically, that takes into account, what kinds of articles are we going to run on a monthly basis? What is the focus of each issue? And Christy and I work very closely on that for, coming up with the look and the feel of what we want for that.
So what's the difference between the two?
It's a great question. With Plus Model magazine, we are truly focused on plus-size modeling and the fashion industry and the entertainment industry. We're getting a little bit more into those types of things, and wait till you see the interview that we have next month in the entertainment section. Okay. Pretty exciting. I can't say who it is, but it is really exciting, so keep watching for that. Mm-hmm. As compared to Venus Diva magazine is more of a lifestyle magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we'll talk about, yes, we talk about fashion, but we also talk about, career and managing your money and beauty and health and all of those types of things. So we touch on a few of those subjects in Plus. So we do handle a little bit of health as far as the Plus model goes. Really, how do we keep ourselves healthy as a Plus model?
Mm-hmm.
And we have Artemis heading up as editor for the beauty section
mm-hmm.
of Plus Model magazine. But that's really the two differences in those magazines.
So do you think Venus Divas more as an online community?
Yeah, I would say that's a really good way of saying it. Venus Divas has been online as a community for a very, very long time now. And so I think that is what women look to for support in Venus Divas, because that's what we've always been. And so I'd say that's a really good way of putting it.
And so what are some of the other features on the website that some of the listeners might not be familiar with?
Well, besides the online community, we also have an entire section dedicated to how to be a plus-size model. And really, that has been on the website almost from the very beginning of us going online. I saw that there was a really large need out there for women to get really good information.
Right.
There was a lot of mistakes being made, 9, 10 years ago with how you approach this industry, and women making decisions with, buying very expensive classes or incredibly inflated, overpriced pictures or portfolios, or going to these conventions.
Right.
Which all have their place at some point. But if you're just getting started back 10 years ago in an industry that had a very short history, we didn't know how to be plus models.
Right.
Nobody ever taught us. And there were no specific standards at that point for how you approach it, because as you know, as I don't know about you, did you grow up as a curvy girl?
Yes, my whole life.
Okay, I did too. And so we were told over and over again, you know what, you can stand in the doorway, but you can't come to the party.
Right.
You can wear clothing out of the house, but don't expect it to be fashionable. So we had a lot of things that we had to get past ourselves as women in order to be able to break into this industry. And it's women like you that have said, you know what, I hear what I'm being told, but guess what? I don't care what you're telling me. I know it can be different. And that's what we have, some amazing role models out today, just blazing trails with, you know what, I'm doing it my way.
Right, and that the modeling section and how to be a plus-size model is so informative, and I know I direct people to it on a daily basis because it's everything from A to Z.
It's kind of interesting. Even with that, people still want to take the quick road.
I know.
And as you know, and I know, and everybody out there that's working in this industry, it's not a quick thing.
Not at all.
Not at all. And so we can have all that information on the website and say, here it is, here's the criteria, here's how to, what you're looking for in photos. And we try not to go into too much detail to overwhelm people, but just kind of give you an overview.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we will still have people email us and call us and say, yeah, I read your website, but how do I do it?
Right.
And, so
and all you have to do is put into action what you read.
There you go. And it does require action. Absolutely.
So does Plus Model Magazine and Venus Divas look for the same thing and qualities in a cover model?
It's absolutely different, because in Venus Diva Magazine, the cover women that you see
mm-hmm.
are women that are on the community, that are active members of the community. That is the criteria.
Oh, the online community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The online community, that we are looking for women who are role models, that believe that, by putting themselves out there, by connecting with other women to help to support them, they're talking with each other all the time, saying, oh, yes, I love that new picture that you just had. It's so much better than this one. It is not a negative environment. Mm-hmm. That is something we have never fostered. It is not a backbiting environment. That's not what we want at all. This is a place where women can come and they can feel comfortable and safe in putting themselves out there. I've had people email me and say, I'm emailing you privately because I just found your website and I'm afraid to put my pictures on because I don't want anybody to laugh at me.
Really?
And I always go back to them and say, you haven't, if you're just there, you're just getting there, a day or two ago, you haven't spent enough time there to see that these women will never do that to you. Mm-hmm. That it's just the opposite. And then they go back and they post a few pictures, and then you see that transformation.
Right.
You see them go from I was afraid to, wow, I can try this, even at whatever level they want to try it, whether it's professional or whether it's in their hometown doing a few runway shows, whatever makes them feel good. That's what we want for them.
So tell me the different process to submit for Plus and Venus Divas. So I know Venus Divas, you have to be on the community, so just give me the specifics after you join the community.
After you're on the community, there's a section in there where you can post your picture if you're interested in being a cover model.
Okay.
And so what happens is Christy, as the Curvy Confidence editor, she is really the voice of that community. Mm-hmm. She is the one connecting and dealing and working with everybody on that community, educating them on how to, make sure they're putting their pictures up there. And Christy notices, is this person, yes, they've posted their photo, but are they then turning around and talking with other women and giving them encouragement? Mm-hmm. That's one of the big things that we're looking for.
So it's a total package.
It's a total package. You just don't go in there and post your picture once, let everybody give you good comments, and then never give any back. Mm-hmm. You know what? That's really, to us, not the way life works. Mm-hmm. You give some, you get some. We're all connected in that way. And so that's really what we look for in Venus Diva magazine. And so this person who is a cover model may not go on to be a top model, mm-hmm. but they are the role model for that magazine.
And so Plus is different because it's a different operation.
Absolutely. And so with Plus, what happens is we get submissions for covers directly from agencies, directly from photographers, mm-hmm. directly from models. So we have kind of hit that radar on that section of, okay, we want our girls to be, cover models. And even sometimes a model directly will send us her photo. And sometimes we look at those and we can see the potential in that model. Mm-hmm. They may not be ready yet, but you can see the potential going, my goodness, if they just had the right photographer, if they just styled this correctly or something like that. Mm-hmm. So we are booking covers very far in advance for Plus compared to how Venus Divas works. Because, again, it's that active community person we're looking for. We can't be booking that a year in advance because we don't know if that person's going to be active in a year.
So what opportunities are available for plus-size businesses that want to advertise with Venus or Plus?
We have really a lot of great opportunities because there's actually a third aspect of this. We run the Diva Boutique also, so mm-hmm. divaboutique.com. And so we have different price points where somebody could get involved. So if you're just a small company or you're just getting started, we really do have a way to connect with this woman because we are this woman. We are intimately involved with marketing this whole thing, with getting the word out there. Maddie is amazing with, Plus Model Magazine, and Christy is phenomenal with Venus Diva Magazine. So we're not just a figurehead where we say, we just sit up here and maybe you'll find us and maybe you won't. We are actively involved in this community. And so an advertiser can come out and join at a very small price point, or they can go all the way to, a corporate sponsorship, whatever fits into their budget. But I'll tell you, we just work really hard to get the message out about all the different companies that we work with. And a lot of times we're finding vendors that, maybe nobody knew about.
That's right.
Yeah, so that's kind of the fun thing. We've been working a little bit more in some of the European market and getting the word out for some of those companies.
So what are the websites do you run under Venus Imaging besides these two?
We actually publish 4 different magazines.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we do. So we have, I had Maddie laughing one day because with 3 of the magazines, they're more female-centered. Mm-hmm. So you have Venus Diva Magazine, you have Plus Model Magazine. We have retooled the old Amaze magazine to a new magazine that's about joyful whole living. having everything to do with, being green, being organic, helping the planet. So that's what the new Amaze magazine is, and that's amazemag.com. Okay. But we also publish Bass Musician magazine, which is strictly for the electric bass, stand-up bass community.
And are you a musician?
I am not, which is very interesting in the whole editing portion of things. I can help to edit the other magazines very easily, but I don't read music, and so a lot of the lingo in the music industry is quite different than what I'm used to, and I keep thinking things are spelled incorrectly, and I'm like, I've learned to go, no, that's not spelled incorrectly, that's just lingo.
Right.
And so the first cover that I had to do for Bass Musician magazine was of a man. And up until this point, there had only ever been women on the cover, and I was thinking to myself, saying to my husband, I don't know whether I can lay this one out or not, So my husband is a bass player. So that's hence why this one came out. So I'm a bass fan, but not a bass player. So
anything new and exciting coming up with Venus Divas or Plus?
We have with Venus, we are getting more involved. If you take a look at this month's editorial, which is always called Connect with Christy, we've got it really just, we've been stepping it up month after month in some of the editorials for Venus. And so we're going to be working at trying to celebrate as many different women in each issue as we can, because that's one of the goals with that magazine. It's really just to show that women can be all different sizes, and look how beautiful they are, and they're fashionable. We don't deal in the realm of the negative in our magazines. We try to deal with what is the positive. What are we doing right? Not, what are we trying to overcome? We feel like we've gotten to that point where we can say, okay, let's let the past be the past. What can we do now? And so that's kind of what's going on with Venus. And with Plus, we have
anniversary.
Like I said, we're coming up on our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So we have a great cover coming up, and like I said, some under the entertainment section, we have a really fun interview of one of my very favorite people. And we have some really exciting things coming out, but of course, I can't talk about them yet. You know how that is,
give us
right?
One little secret.
So I couldn't even give you one tiny secret on this one at this point. But trust me, you'll be hearing about it.
Okay. And so what's the ultimate goal you have for both of these online publications?
People ask us that every day, and they say, when are you going to go to paper? Why aren't you in paper? Or even the better one, I have people call me and say, I've been to Barnes & Noble, I have been to, every bookshop in my local area, and I cannot find your magazine. That tells you something. That happens at least weekly, and it's always so disappointing to tell people, well, we're not in paper yet. Would that be a goal? It would be something we would love to do one day, but the truth is this. Both you and I know that we have watched phenomenal magazines come and go.
Right.
And so when we started the first project was Plus Model Magazine. We had the old Amaze, but now we're at Plus Model Magazine. The goal was we're going to do things completely different. We're going to start it here and see where it takes us.
Well, that's smart, because obviously the old ways didn't work.
It didn't work, and everybody was putting stuff out there or saying, I'm going to paper, I'm making a magazine. And like I said, if we looked at it and went, if those companies with huge budgets, huge marketing budgets, in the millions of dollars, were not able to make it,
right.
What makes another company think that they can come along without $1 million budget and say, we can do this?
Right.
So we tested those waters. We put Plus out there, and from the first issue, it was, people were going, I like what you're doing. This is great. We have women sitting up at midnight ready to read this as soon as it goes live.
Yeah,
and so it has to be ready. It has to be ready to go at midnight. And it is. But it's kind of interesting to think about that. Sometimes you think, oh, they won't read it till the next morning. You still have a few hours after midnight to tweak and fix things. Nope.
And you've been able to get national exposure on television with the magazine too, haven't you?
Yes, we have. We've been. Maddie was on a talk show. We did another makeover on another talk show. So we've gotten on the radar of television, which is great. Which is really great.
Awesome. So how can everyone get in touch with you if they want to advertise or want to be on, just have a question?
If you go to plusmodelmag.com, and I think it's probably in venusdivamag.com, the phone number that's there goes directly to me.
Oh, okay.
So if
you might not want to say that.
So and it's kind of funny. I answer every phone call that comes in. There's information on the website. It says, for advertising, click here. You can always contact us. If you have a question, just give us a call. We have a virtual media kit that we can send out. And if the company, gets on basically my personal email list, we send out specials every month.
Okay.
And we try to vary them up a lot so that really the small advertiser can come in and say, I can do this. I can do this. Help me reach this consumer.
Well, sounds good, and we will definitely be checking out both websites. I already do, so. So thanks again for filling in last minute. It's a pleasure as always.
Okay. Hey, good talking to you, and thanks to everybody out there for supporting Plus Model Magazine and Venus Diva Magazine. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay, good night.
And that was Valery Amador, the creative director of Plus Model Magazine and the editorial director of Venus Divas. So up next, we have Kwon, who is the owner and CEO of Missphit Clothing. He oversees many aspects of the business, including manufacturing, sales, finance, and marketing. Yu founded Missphit with his wife, Christina, who focuses on design and product sourcing. Prior to launching the Missphit line, Yu focused his talents growing the plus-size and junior private labels at Jimex. Let's see if we can get him on the line. Yu, are you there?
Hello?
Hi. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
It's Yul, like Yul Brenner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
how are you, Shanice?
I am wonderful, and thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, first, tell me, how did you get started as a designer, or are you a designer?
Actually, I'm not the designer. My wife is a designer. She's very talented. She has a background. She studied in Paris, and she worked for Christian Dior. She worked for John Galliano. She has a very good background, a lot of good local labels, and she does the fun part of designing all the clothes. I do the sales and manufacturing, all the other boring stuff.
Okay, so you two are a team.
Yes, we are, and she's very talented, and we wouldn't be able to put out the designs that we do without her.
Great. So what made you want to cater to plus-size women?
Well, actually, it's a family business. It's been a family business. And my parents, they came here, a long time ago with very little money, but they got into the clothing business, and they were able to just, carve a niche in plus sizes, and they were just selling to local stores, a little bit of private label, very, small operation. And
now, is your wife a plus size woman?
My wife actually isn't, and she just had a baby, so I guess. She's put on some pounds, but no, she's not.
Don't get in trouble now.
Yeah, but she's working on that. Not that she's beautiful, curvy, and it doesn't matter. But no, she's not.
But it's just a market that you saw opportunity in.
Yes, exactly. Family's been in the business for about 20 years doing plus sizes from the beginning. So, I actually kind of fell into it, and I realized there's potential there, and I saw all the other styles or the lines that are out there. I said, we can really turn this up with Christina's talents and just the experience and the knowledge that we have in the industry. I said, let's launch Missphit. We can really do this. We can brand our line. We can offer really good styles. And with the fits that we do have, which we've honed for a long time. I just thought this would be a good opportunity.
So, do you think you're at a disadvantage in this market being a male?
I would say yes and no. I'm not a designer, and I don't wear women's clothing, so I guess in that sense, it's a yes. I'd always, I'm kind of jealous of Christina and our designers when, they see something, they go, yeah, you can wear that, you can't wear that. Sometimes I don't know. I just know if it looks good or not.
Right.
I would say no in the fact that I'm involved in the business. I've been in this business for over 7 years now, and I know my clothing. I know what looks good. I know what's going to sell, what doesn't sell. So, just with my knowledge of the business, I would say no. And, I really don't want to get pigeonholed saying I'm a male, so I can't design or I don't know clothing. And sometimes that happens, when I go out there in the industry. But, I guess you really set yourself up for... You're going down a slippery slope, I guess, when you do that.
So what types of clothing do you carry under the Missphit label?
Well, right now we carry mainly tops and outerwear, which is jackets and some sweaters.
So it's all casual, right?
Well, it's casual. It's dressy casual. There's basics. We do a lot of prints. A lot of people won't do prints. A lot of the online retailers out there won't do prints just because it's risky, and it makes business sense not to do prints. However, I guess we're confident in the prints that we choose. So
your line is catered to Junior Plus, though, correct? Or is it?
Actually, Junior Plus is that's a term a lot of people use in the industry. I guess just to say it's a trendier plus. And I think we'd like to use Trendy Plus, because when you say Junior Plus, again, you put yourself in a situation saying it's only for young people.
So it's not a Junior Plus cut?
No, absolutely not. No,
oh, okay.
It's actually a full woman's cut.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the problems people you run into when you say Junior Plus. They go, is it smaller?
Right.
No, it's actually we're trendy. I wouldn't use the word Junior Plus, not at all, no.
So what are the sizes and price range of your clothing line?
Well, size-wise, we go 1X, 2X, 3X. So the 1X would be a 14-16, your 2X would be 18-20, and your 3X is a 22-24. So it goes up to a 24. Women's size, full cuts. Price-wise, we're very affordable. We're actually, average price of a blouse is about $39. And our jackets would be around $55. It's quality goods at very good prices. I know there's some out there, they put up big prices, and in the beginning, a few years ago, you could really get away with that. But for us, this is what we need, and let's allow our clothes to be worn by as many people as possible. So that's why we're priced where we are.
So what has been some of the major accomplishments you've had with the clothing line?
Well, I got really lucky when we started. About 6 months into starting the line, I got into Dillard's department stores.
Well, that was a good one.
Yes, and I would have to say launching our retail site, because we're a manufacturer. We wholesale. We sell to retailers like Dillard's and to other shops. We actually do some private label for Ashley Stewart. But I guess with Dillard's, it was just, it was persistence and luck. You know how they say, to succeed, you have to work hard and you have to get lucky. And it was one of those things where I was persistent enough to get myself in a position to get lucky.
Well, was it already in Dillard's when the website was launched?
Yes, the website was launched after about a year. We just put it up more informational. Yeah, and we got really good feedback, and we had a few things where the traffic went up on our website.
As a result of being in Dillard's?
Dillard's helped, and we also had one of our tops on Lakeisha Jones of American Idol last season.
Right.
And that helped us. That drove traffic, and we were like, you know what? We always got questions from our customers saying, where can I find your line? I don't have a Dillard's nearby. I had people in Europe asking me. I had people in Asia asking me. So we're like, let's put it out there so everyone could buy our clothes.
Well, how did your clothing end up on American Idol? Or were you friends with the stylist, or they just happened to get it out of the department store?
Well, you know what? With that, there's a couple of stories. I tell my competitors that I hired somebody to get it in there. But I think the true story actually is it's one of those some hard work. I actually saw an episode the week before where Simon said something about Lakeisha's dress and how he didn't like her outfit and stuff. A light bulb literally went off in my head. I was like, huh. So the next morning, I spent a few hours just trying to find the number to the stylist or trying to find American Idol. And I sent a package of our samples. I finally got it. I sent a package, and I forgot about it. And someone told me, I saw your top on American Idol.
So you wasn't even watching when it was on the air?
I wasn't watching. I didn't even expect it.
Wow.
And we saw it, and it was very exciting. And I was so happy for everyone, that works with us, that they were able to see that. So it was really
So have you been able to give them more clothes for different seasons, or?
Actually, yes, but, you gotta get lucky. I realized that when I did that and it went on the next week, I thought, I can do this all the time. However, no, that's not the case. So, it really has to be good timing, and you have
to hit it when you can.
Yeah, I realized that because, I would send samples this season, and there weren't any contestants going later on. But I guess early on there was one girl. We sent some samples, but we didn't get lucky this time.
So what sets your clothing apart from other lines?
I would have to say the styles, really. Like I said, the wife is talented, and we have a great, talented team of designers, and we put a lot of resources into the style. I'd say, more than we should, but we really, really focus on our styles. We travel the world for inspiration. We travel to all these different shows. We have all the different forecasting books. And this is what, the other, you would say, juniors line, small lines do. We do the same thing. We put the same effort into the styles. And so I think it shows. I think we really have some fashion-forward, unique items that are out there. The style and our fit. Like I said, we've been doing this for a very, very long time, and we have, a Rolodex of fit models, and we really go through at least 3 fit models when we go into production, so we really know our fits.
Oh, well, that's great. So what advice can you give someone who's wanting to start their own plus-size clothing line? Well,
are we going to see a Shanice Lewis line soon?
Well, I was thinking about it, but it seems like it's too much hard work.
The advice is don't do it.
And let you get all the sales?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. It's actually, it is hard work. It really is. And if you're really passionate about it, if you're passionate about clothes and designing, I think it's worth it. The advice I give to someone who wants to start would be really, really know your clothing, and I don't mean just having a good design. It's more about pricing. Know where to get certain clothes. Know where they're priced, because a lot of people out there are out to get you. What else is there?
And marketing, huh?
Yeah, and marketing, and and know your customer. Definitely know your customer. We have, a wealth of feedback and knowledge from our customers, and again, we've been doing this for a long time, so we definitely know our customer, and, make things that they want to wear, make things what people want to wear, make things that make them look good, and make it fun, really.
So how can someone apply to be a model for your clothing line or a fit model? I know you said you use a lot of fit models too.
Right. Well, with the fit models, you can always email us. There's a section there, info@missphit.com. It's MISSPHIT. And just, let us know. We prefer people who are local. We're out here in L.A., downtown L.A., in the fashion district.
Okay.
And, we prefer local because it's just we need people who are flexible because you don't know when you need a fit.
Right.
And sometimes, I would go out to the malls and I see somebody, that's a great fit model, and then I'd introduce myself and pass out cards.
Now, what about for the regular modeling in the ads?
Right, for the regular modeling. Also, the same way, send in your emails. We do get a lot of emails, and thank you for everyone that sent us emails with their pictures and whatnot. And we definitely do look at them, and we keep them on file. For now, just with us where we are, we don't do as many shoots as we'd like. That's photo shoots. We're trying to move it up to about 3 times a year, but right now it's about 2 times a year. So we don't have a high demand for models. And with the models that we have been using, they're through agencies. It's been a very good agency. However, if we see someone or a very good look that we like, it makes more sense for us to go directly to the person and
use them directly. So do you have any upcoming promotions or any events coming up that you'd like the audience to know about?
Actually, yes. Speaking of how to become a model, I was going to add to that. We're actually going to have a contest where we're going to choose somebody to model our clothes for our next photo shoot.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's going to be called Rags to Runway.
So somebody has to be raggedy to apply?
Yeah. The more raggedy you are, the higher chance you have of becoming a Missphit model. No, it kind of sounds like that. But no, what it actually is, it's just a little twist on just rather than doing a normal model search, it's a contest where you send in a picture of your worst fitting top. We really emphasize styles and how it fits your body. It can be the best style, but if it doesn't fit well, it's no use. So you submit your best fitting or your worst fitting top, and then we're gonna have a panel of judges. A lot of people like in the fashion industry, people who are pretty well versed there or
got it.
Yeah, and they're going to judge it. They're going to say, we like this one. We're going to pick a winner every month or every 2 months. We're not decided on that yet.
Oh, okay, so it's going to be an ongoing thing.
Yes, and then after a year, we're going to choose the grand prize winner, and this person gets to come to L.A. on our dime and be a part of our photo shoot.
Oh, and then I have to interview them on the show.
Exactly, that'd be great. Yeah.
Sounds good. So, again, tell us the website and where we can find your clothing.
Right. Again, it's www.missphit.com. You can order online. Also, there's a section if you want. A lot of girls want to go in and try on the clothes. So you can click on where to find us, and there'll be a list of boutiques and also Dillard's. We're not sold in every single Dillard's store yet, so I advise them to shoot me an email. I'll let you know which stores you can.
Oh, so you have the list of which ones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and with the boutiques, we're constantly increasing our boutique base so that more people can go ahead and actually go to the store, try it on, see how it fits, check out the material, whatnot.
And if someone has a boutique and want to carry your clothing, they can contact you through the website as well?
Exactly, yes. They could submit a questionnaire for the wholesale customers. And you can buy online. We have a very good return policy, so if nothing fits, we understand. That's just online business, so you can, return it and we refund your money in full.
Okay, well, sounds good. Thank you so much for joining with us. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Well, thank you, Shanice, and I just want to say hi to Valery, who you just had on.
Yes.
Her and Maddie, I've worked with them, and they are classy people, really classy people.
They are.
And we're still small. We're starting out. However, they've been very, very supportive of us and helpful, catering to our needs. So say hi to them for us. And
and I'm in L.A., so hopefully I'll have a chance to meet you soon.
Shanice, you are in L.A. I thought you were in New York for some reason.
No, I'm in L.A.
Okay. Well, definitely, please, I'll send you my information and come by, and if you need some wardrobe for something, I'll definitely be happy to provide you with those.
Sounds like a plan. So thank you so much for being with us, and keep me posted on the contest as well, so we can get the winner on here.
Definitely will. It's still in the process. It's about 3 weeks till it's going to be up. So check in with us. We are going to have new summer styles out, over 10 styles, 10 to 12 styles, brand new styles. They're coming out in about a week. And right now we're just really working on our fall goods too. We'll have a lot of jackets and really pretty things.
Sounds good.
Great.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Shanice.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
Okay, and now, last but not least, is our third guest of the night, Megan Garcia. Megan makes her living as a plus-size model, but her size makes her unique as a yoga teacher. Through practice, she has learned how to modify many classic yoga postures for her shape. In 2004, she partnered with the plus-size clothing line Just My Size to create Just My Size Yoga with Megan Garcia, a best-selling yoga DVD specifically created for the plus-size beginners. Recently, she authored Mega Yoga, published by DK Books in May 2006, and she is also this month's cover girl for Plus Model magazine. So let's see if we can get Megan on the phone.
Hi, Shanice.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I've been listening to your conversation with your last guest. It was really interesting.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So now let's get into you and what you're doing.
All right.
First, tell us, how did you get started as a plus-size model?
After I got married in the end of 1999, moved in with my husband, Rolando. We had a blending of my girly stuff and his boy stuff. And part of my girly stuff was an enormous stash of Mode magazines. Do you remember Mode?
Yes, I was subscribed.
Oh, my God, I love Mode.
Yes.
I had an enormous stash of Mode magazines, and he kept tripping over them. They were by the bedside table, and he finally opened one up and said, "My goodness, you can do this. You look like these women." I never thought that I could model, and he dared me.
Wow.
He said, if you look up some plus size agencies in the phone book and you go, I'll take you out to dinner.
So you won.
I did, and the first agency I walked into was Karen's.
Mm-hmm.
It was the address that was closest to the place where I was temping as a paralegal. And I walked in a black business suit because I was working in a law firm at the time, so unmodel-like. And I had photographs from my wedding, and they signed me.
Wow! So you didn't even know the how-to?
No, I didn't know the first thing about a go-see. It was total dumb luck.
So how did you learn everything? They taught you, or just through experience?
Through trial and expensive error. I think I made every mistake that a model starting out makes, like where they say, do not pay for tests right away. With a reputable agency, there won't be fees and things like that. And since I didn't know what I was doing, I stumbled through it. I tested with photographers that were very expensive when I was just a rank beginner, so the photographs weren't that great. And so I know I would dress in my legal clothes when I'd go on go-sees. I didn't know about looking natural and young, and it's really a miracle that I slogged away as long as I did, but I learned a lot on the job.
So what was your biggest obstacle getting started, you would say?
It was a lack of familiarity with the market and the job. If I had really researched modeling, what a model carries in her bag when she goes to go-sees, what a comp card looks like, putting together your first comp card, and if I had really practiced posing, taking pictures, I think I would have been a lot more self-confident. And from my 8 years now in the industry, I've learned that self-confidence is what books you jobs. And if I'd been more self-confident, I think I would have taken off even earlier.
So since those beginnings, what were your major accomplishments? What have your major accomplishments been so far?
I did a campaign about 4 to 5 years ago for Lane Bryant, which, as you know, they may be the biggest plus-size retailer in North America.
Mm-hmm.
They're huge, and that was so exciting. We shot it out in far eastern Long Island at a house that used to be Andy Warhol's beach house. It was beautiful, and just seeing how a really professional, put together team does a catalog shoot. It was I would have paid them to let me do it. That was fun. I've traveled to Cancun, Mexico for jobs. I've traveled to Miami and Florida for jobs. And I was on the cover of Figure magazine. That
right,
was
in the purple, right, doing the yoga pose.
You're good, Shanice. You remember.
But weren't you on another cover, dancing with somebody?
With my husband.
Yeah.
Yes, with Rolando. And that's the cover that hooked me up with Just My Size, the clothing company that helped sponsor the DVD that I created.
So, we're going to get to the DVD a little later.
Sure.
But where can we catch you now? I know you're on the cover of Plus Model magazine.
Exactly.
And any other things out right now that we can see you?
What else is brewing? Over the last year, I've taken a little bit of a hiatus from modeling because I was building my yoga business.
Got it.
The faculty up in Yoga Institute in Massachusetts, and I've been going there every 5 weeks.
Oh, okay. So that's been number one.
That's been number one, but I'm getting back into modeling. I recently was signed with Wilhelmina.
Oh, okay.
And they are wonderful, wonderful agency, and we're putting together a new card. That's why I'm now a brunette. And
so you're just testing right now to build it back up.
That's exactly right. We're going to put out a new card, and they'll put me on their website, and that's what's going to happen for the rest of 2008. So
what has the feedback been about the Plus Model magazine cover?
Well, I know that Maddie really, really likes it because I saw her recently, and she gave me the CD that also had the test that we did that day with the wonderful photographer Dilo, who was so talented. And
yes.
She was really happy, and I know that my agents really, really liked the work that we did. So
at Wilhelmina, they liked it?
They did very much.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So besides modeling, we know that you are into yoga. You're a yoga expert. So tell us about Mega Yoga.
I started practicing yoga in college. I needed a 1-credit course, and it seemed like it would be just a simple, relaxing stretching class, and it was so much more. It made me feel like an athlete for the first time in my life, and I was hooked. But I realized that I was the only size 18 yoga person in any of the classes I took, and a lot of the poses were very uncomfortable. You know, you bend over, there's a lot of twisting, and I would feel body parts being compressed or smushed. So I developed all these modifications using props like blocks and straps and different movement techniques so that I could hold all the classical poses just like the skinnier practitioners and get the same benefits out of it. So Mega Yoga are the special techniques, the adjustments, the props that I've come up with.
So what benefits can yoga bring to the plus-size woman?
I'm very proud of the fact that one of my dear long-term students who was on high blood pressure medication, so a lot of us full-figured gals do suffer from pre-hypertension or even hypertension. She got off her medication just by doing yoga.
So you can lose weight doing yoga?
I have not lost a pound doing yoga. You see all these yoga DVDs, like yoga for tight buns and stuff like that, and I think that weight loss is so much more. It involves diet and lifestyle changes, and it's complex. And if there was something as easy as like one exercise, we'd all be skinny.
Right. But yoga is more about being flexible.
Yoga is about learning how to relax and get in touch with your body so that you take care of it before you get sick. So if we're walking around all day, especially I'm over here in New York City, all tense and stressed out, yoga gives you a chance to put that stress down and learn to just relax.
And you meditate at the end of it, right?
You do.
Yeah, I took a yoga class in high school, and at the end of the class, we would always meditate, and I would go to sleep and snore very loud in the middle of the class. And I think I got a little bit too into it.
You're not the only one. You know, Shanice, in every class I teach, there's always somebody who goes out like a light. But that's good. That means you were sleep deprived. You're probably studying and staying up all hours. You probably needed it.
Yes. So, does your yoga, is it specifically for plus-size women or for everyone?
Well, my first student was my husband, and he is a slender Filipino male. So I can teach everybody. I trained at Kripalu Institute in Lenox, Massachusetts. The Kripalu style is the style of Hatha yoga, and that word Hatha is an Indian word that means poses or postures. But my modifications, the Mega Yoga, that's just for curvy gals like myself. That's my specialty.
So all of your products that you've put out have been geared to plus-size women.
They have been. The book and the DVD are just for plus-size women.
So can we purchase any of your products online right now?
BarnesandNoble.com, Amazon.com, anywhere DVDs or books are sold.
And then what do you search for it to come up?
Just type in Mega Yoga if you want the book. It's MEGAYOGA in like the Google toolbar, and it'll list all the retailers that sell it.
Oh, okay.
And type in Just My Size Yoga if you'd like to purchase the DVD. And if you can't remember all of those, you can go to my website, megayoga.com.
And you have all that on the website.
There are links there so that you can get the products.
And so where are your classes located, and how can someone register to be in one?
You would go to the megayoga.com website. I teach classes in New Jersey, and I also teach classes in New York City, a combination of private classes and also public ones. So there's a class for anyone. And I do privates in people's houses and at their place of business as well.
Okay, so you're strictly on the East Coast. Do you ever travel to teach classes?
All the time. I teach teacher trainings and seminars around the country.
Oh, okay.
And people invite me to their yoga studios to train their teachers how to modify. You know, Shanice, there's a really great trend of yoga teachers realizing that more and more curvy girls want to get into yoga, and they don't know how to help them because typically teachers are very slender. And so they're reaching out for tips and tricks to help these students, and it's very heartwarming.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So we go to your website, Mega Yoga, to learn about the classes and the products. Now, if somebody wants to book you for a modeling job, how do they go about doing that?
They would just call Wilhelmina in New York City and ask to speak to one of the booking agents in the 1020 division. That's the name of the plus-size division.
And they'll get in touch with you through there.
They can.
Well, sounds good, and thank you so much for joining with us this evening. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I'm definitely going to have to try out your yoga DVD.
Well, thank you, Shanice. I hope you enjoy it, and if you fall asleep in the end and snore, I won't even know because I can't hear you.
Sounds good. And again, congratulations on the Plus Model magazine cover. The cover and the article are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much. It was an honor to work with Plus Model magazine. They do really beautiful editorial work. I love the photographers that they hire. it's really nice that they're building up their presence. I'm so glad that they worked with me.
And thank you, and we will be on the lookout to see what you have coming up next.
Sounds great. You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
So that was Megan, a plus model and yoga expert, and I want to say thank you to all of our fabulous guests this evening. Valery Amador, the editorial director for Venus Divas and Plus Model Magazine. Kwon, owner and CEO of Missphit Clothing. And again, Megan Garcia, Plus Model and yoga expert. Tune in to our next show, which is scheduled for Monday, June 23rd, and we'll have more Plus industry professionals with stories to not only inspire you, but to keep you connected. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, want to promote your company, or for more information, go to our website at www.plusmodelmag.com and click on the Plus Model Radio icon. I've been your host this evening, Shanice Lewis, and thank you for tuning in and supporting Plus Model Radio. If you enjoyed the show, send me some feedback. I love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, remember, the sky is the limit. We can be anything we want to be, from president to top model. So keep thriving in your curves and be blessed.